Welcome to the Global Exclusive Podcast. Today we are introducing you to I guess, weird edition where it's just me and Dream. Did we ever have this combination before?
Um, Maybe once? I'm not sure. This might be a first.
Yeah.
Eventually, pod will go on long enough where we've had all possible permutations of hosts in
Except Cotton.
episodes.
Except Cotton. Because I think she's permanently dead. Rest in peace, Cotton.
Record too early for
Yeah.
because most people can't handle 10 p.m. recording.
He gets up early enough to play Final Fantasy 14, though. We have to realize that.
I mean,
So
fair, I guess.
her priorities are set straight. Oh, wait. I just did a daily and it's red.
Oh, oh
Oh,
my.
please. It's Sky.
Oh, well, that's not bad.
That's technically better, I guess.
Yeah, maybe. Well, I don't know about it at low EX level, but
Don't I only need it in EX1? Do I need EX4 for her? 3 for her?
well, she's a Gao unit, which needs everything at
Oh yeah,
EX3 ideally, at minimum EX2.
that's true.
Uh,
That's true. But anyways, this week it is not Sky. This week I was actually hoping for something else. It is our Type 0 units, Kurasame, Queen, and Machina. So who do we want to talk about first? What's
um,
got you excited, Dream?
I don't know. Well, none of them really because their kits are a bit tragic, like their story. But
Oof.
they're okay. They're just not super interesting. So like we can probably do both the NVAs together, really. But
Yeah.
I
They
mean,
look
it's
like
nice.
essentially the same unit, right?
Yeah, it's nice that we actually have NVAs again. It feels like there's been a bit of a drought of them,
Hmm.
and they're pretty decent. Like one thing they've got that even the NV bases don't seem to get is static attack at EX0. It's
Yeah, that's
not
hype.
locked behind higher EX levels. But yeah, basically they do very similar things. They're both SLB units with 230x chaining LBs that do the usual SLB self one turn self buff package. Queen is TDH Lightning, Machina is True Dual Wield. Fire, though actually Machina does have unconditional 6 times chain cap, so he
Hmm.
can actually go TDH with 6 times cap, but he
Interesting.
does have 0% innate TDH, so it's a bit harder to gear. But otherwise, their gearing's actually really easy because they've got a lot of like attack and equipment attack passives for what they normally favor.
Queen and Machina, both of their TMRs and STMRs are pretty dated. So I guess do we want to skip
I
those
think
TMR?
Markina got like a bit of extra attack on his STMR. It's up to 180 now.
Oh yeah.
So they're like and like Queen's lucid lenses are still not bad either. So yeah, their TMs. I mean, their STMs are still okay. Their TMs are bad, but yeah, their STMs aren't the worst
How
still.
good are their damage comparatively to, I don't know, like Sephiroth Sky, Kurosami, you know, the top
Um,
tier? Are they
I don't
better
know.
than Scion? Are they better than is that the question, I guess?
No, they're worse than Cyan. They are. I would say they are a bit better than like Noctis and Arden level,
Oof.
but like for NVAs, that's all right, and it's chaining as well rather
Oh
than
yeah.
a finisher.
What was a
Yeah,
protector's was chain family was like?
it's basically triple pulsing strike.
Yeah. Okay.
It's very similar, but I guess like that Noctis comparison is at EX1, and it can get quite a bit better. Maybe not so much in burst, but in definitely in sustained damage at EX2 and 3 because it lets them SLB more often, and that's the main thing they want to do because for their turns in between, they've just got kind of a generic attack buff plus element amp for a few turns and bolting strike chains of their element, the Imperil and 80% defense break.
Yeah.
So
I have.
Machina can actually do some better on his off turns after his first SLB because it gives a pretty big mod buff to all his physical attacks.
Yeah, 100
So that
times.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that raises his envy base chain from million slash to 172, which is quite high. But it actually raises his old element Eiger to 230 per cast because it's double component.
Interesting.
So that's actually pretty decent for off-turn chaining once he's got his first SLB going.
After all the login bonuses and shit, I'll have more than enough for an EX3 Machina. Maybe I'll just do it.
Oh, nice.
Put put the red
I
balls.
I only had, I think, 5 queens and 6 machina, and then I've pulled 1 more queen, so I'm 1 away from EX2 on both.
I had
I
like
haven't
12 Machinas, yo.
Yeah, they are not ones that I've pulled tons of.
Oh, that's this is I never knew I would say this, but I'm so happy about all 12 of my Machinas. So yeah, here we are.
Yeah, I mean, it's not bad, and, you will want them for the,
Chronicle battle.
the EX well, it's technically a Chronicle battle, but it's the EX stage, really.
Yeah.
The Vajra.
Yep. But they're essentially the same unit. Spam your LBs when you can with the SLB.
Similar. But yeah, unfortunately, because they're NVAs, their regular LBs are still really bad because for some reason, base form LBs don't get updated upon NVA.
Yeah.
I still don't get that design decision.
You know what? I don't complain too much, but
Yeah,
yeah, it is kind of baffling what they're doing with this.
well, I mean, even for Brave Shift NVAs, their base form LBs were always they stayed bad,
Hmm.
and only their shift form ones were good. Weird.
Yep.
Anyway, I guess we can move on to the actual new unit of the banner, Kurasame,
Hmm.
who does similar things because he is also an SLB unit who just
We
has
peak design
off-chain.
SLB.
Thanks, JP.
Eh, fucking exciting, isn't this?
But yeah,
Yeah, I mean, yeah, go ahead.
he's an ice finisher. Does pretty decent damage. It's gonna be lower than Sephiroth and Tifa once you have them EX2 and a good amount of their flat attack unlocked. But it's not bad. It's probably next highest after them outside of morale. There'll
He
be
has
an ice
EX3
safety.
abilities too, right? Um,
Um, yeah, some of his static attack actually is locked behind EX3, which is kind of crap. But
yeah. So that's what I was thinking about the Kurosami. Like he already struggles, I think, to keep up with both Tifa and Sephiroth, and yet here he is neutered with
yeah,
another EX3 because technically
yeah,
Tifa and
it's
Sephiroth only have EX2 abilities that they need.
well, Tifa and Sephiroth's EX3 ability is their card.
That's true. That's
Is
also true.
honest. But yes, they just have a lot more power available because thanks premium. But
Thanks, JP.
he'll have an Ice Week DV where he can shine once.
Oh, is there an Ice DV?
I think so. There's one with Phoenix as either a final boss or might be the physical one. I'm not sure.
Hmm.
But
Okay.
but yeah, he'll be good for that. But then not too much else, unfortunately.
Sorry, I know kind
And
of yeah, go for it.
no, you go ahead first.
No, I was gonna say, did you have a chance to do the Voshor stage?
No, I haven't done it yet. I'm
Okay.
sort of waiting for Builder to update so I can actually gear Queen and Machina properly because I'll just be relying on those two at EX1.
Oh, that's sad. Okay.
Yeah, it might be a bit tough, but I think it is still doable with just those two at EX1. And then maybe EX3 Queen can carry it by herself because it's more lightning weak than it is fire.
Fire.
But you can still I think use Celestia or whatever because it's locked to type 0 units. You can use that to imbue Machina with mixed element or
Hmm.
just give them a lightning weapon, I guess.
Okay.
And that helps him a bit. And then obviously if you have Kurasame, he'll will help a lot as well.
Excuse me. Sorry. Right.
Good. But yeah, a couple things I've noted. One was that for some reason they still gone the like generic EX2 ability of full LB at the start of battle, which when SLBs charge, they give full
They
gauge
gave full
anyway,
LB
so it's a bit
anyways. What's
pointless.
the point?
Plus, his leveled LB is actually surprisingly cheap. It only costs 30. So I was thinking that if we actually had, trial content where sustained damage was valuable, a pair of Kurosames supported by Celeste, because obviously her buffs are already good for him,
Mhm.
giving him like more sustain and some higher levels than he normally has. But also she can do a lot of AoE LB fill. So and spamming Kurosame's regular LB, which chains, would actually be like really good sustain damage.
Again,
But
if sustained damage was
there's no content for it.
yeah. Hey, to be fair, what if the next global exclusive? What if the next cow is like we need to tank like 7 turns of shit, and it's sustained damage on for cow
I don't know.
purposes. It could be.
But it would have to be like so ridiculously bulky to do something like that. And then, well, I think we talked about this on a previous episode actually, but like the main thing they would need to do something like that is change the score parameters so
Yeah,
max burst in one turn isn't one of them. And honestly, I don't see them doing that, unfortunately.
yeah. The other units sell way too well.
Yeah.
Yeah, such is the reality of this game at the moment. What about the Chronicle Battle weapon or equipment? What's that about this time around?
It's an upgrade to like the main gear is an upgrade to Wildcard Ace's TMR,
TMR.
the
Okay.
titularly named Wildcard, I believe.
Hmm.
And I'm just kind of navigating to the page for it as I talk, but it gets some extra magic, goes up to like 180 something, and then what it would give is it gives a bunch of like flat magic to Ace and or all forms of Ace, but unfortunately we did not get the free like skill upgrades to Wildcard Ace and Benevolent Beauty Rim.
Yeah.
So that's kind of sad.
Surprise.
That's a bit bummer. But yeah, yay, global skip 7-star upgrades. Fuck you. So this one is very like I think it still like has some killers and might be useful occasionally, but it's a pretty niche chronicle weapon.
Yeah. Yeah. Honestly, yeah, I don't know why anyone would get it, but no, all the power to someone, I guess.
Yeah.
The other thing that happened this week was Shard Dungeon, and I think that's the best news
Yeah,
of it all.
finally.
I know.
Except I would have loved it a week earlier, so it wasn't like you only got half of it for cow. So that's kind
It's,
of embittered the whole thing for me.
it's almost as if this was all planned out, eh? Yeah.
Somewhat. Or like, how far can we stretch the 3 months? This state. How quickly can we cram in the third Clash of Wills? This state. Perfect. It's a week earlier.
And so I know you guys probably talked about Cal last week, and I only did it up to level 40, rank 42 or 46, and like afterwards you can't really OTK it as easy.
No, it has a HP hardlock from I think like 49 onwards.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm stuck on, I think.
Yeah,
And man, it's such a
yeah.
chore.
I've cleared up to 99, but I haven't done like a score optimized one. I know I can't cap this one just because of EX levels and stuff, but
Mhm.
I'll probably do like a better score run before the weekends. But yeah, with the HP luck and stuff, it does actually make it a bit tougher and stuff.
Mhm.
But I think you pretty much want to like hit that threshold sort of on the right turn,
Yeah.
use your accuracy debuffs and stuff. I don't think I ever actually used blind, which helps and some people have been doing, but it's not necessary, I don't think.
Oh yeah. Okay.
I've just kept, yeah, accuracy debuff and evasion cover tank, cross the threshold around like turn 5 or 6, and then the big thing is kill from above 30% health. because once you cross that threshold, he does an AoE berserk, which just ends you, basically guaranteed. But yeah, this cow has been like a bit more of an interesting battle,
Yeah,
which
and
has
I
been
think
nice.
it's a good thing for it.
Yeah,
Just
yeah, definitely. That more a bit it's like a bit more trial-y, which has been
yeah.
nice. I think I do wish because, like, you're wanting to get to those high levels for your actual scoring attempts, so it would be kind of nice to be able to jump up the levels a bit quicker instead of just 10 at a time. I'd like to
Mhm.
be able to do 20. So it's just like, if you can manage it, one battle in each echelon where the skill set changes.
Yeah. Yeah, I agree. But other than that, I guess the other big thing that happened with Final Fantasy Brave Exvius is the fact that a longtime producer, Hirono, has stepped down from his role. And I thought this
Yeah.
deserved a mention because Hirono has been a very big presence in FFB, right? Like for the 5 years that this game was going on, he
Mhm.
probably made all the big decisions going forward.
Especially JP side.
Yeah, 100%. But the way that it's worded, it sounds like it's a promotion. I don't know if you ever.
Yeah, he's kind. I think I haven't read it in a few days, but yeah, it was like a kind of more of a role change where he's like, you
Yeah,
know, a bit less involved in FFB specifically, but still like in a sort of high up and somewhat related role.
yeah. And for all the shit that we give FFB, I think Hirono really did his best to make this, an enjoyable game. So I
Yeah,
think
yeah,
it deserves mention that he
certainly.
did a good. He did a
Um,
decent job. I think.
done some good, done some bad.
Yeah, yeah,
We've talked
definitely.
about that. Yeah, I think there was one thing people pointed out in like the statement from, I think, the person who was taking over, was it like, work on continuing to make FFB better and even easier to play. So it's like, are we going to see even more dumbing down on JP and simplified kits?
Wait, even easier to play? Was that a complaint for FFB? I didn't
Apparently
know
from
that.
JP, or like, because recently I know JP's producers said like, been very focused on new player experience, which I think is a lot of, or at least people think is a lot of the reason behind Envy's, a lot of the new Envy's having very simple kits.
Oh, but you know what? That kind of makes sense in a way that I think that FFB is a bit complicated in a sense for new players to learn. There's a lot of new
Yeah,
mechanics.
yeah, it's like, it's got some clunk, but I think this, doing this to kits, and also like looking at just JP content where there is DV and then everything else is a joke,
Yeah,
is just kind of not a great way to go about it.
that's true. That's true.
And you, like, one thing that I think is good for new player experience that GL has gone, oh fuck that, is the story digests. Because they seem like a really nice way to catch up
That's
on
true.
things. But no, we don't get those because they include free stuff.
Yeah, yeah.
They,
Anything that could help the player base, now fuck that shit.
they don't fit into our monthly budget.
Yeah. Otherwise, Hiroki and Hirono can't get their next yacht. I bet. So uh, we robbed them of their next yacht and big oceanfront property. So what can we do? But
We're so greedy.
yeah. um. Yeah, that's a big thing. I
But
think there is a potential that his promotion could also mean that there's a bigger expansion of the brand of FFBE, if that makes any sense.
yeah, I guess so. They could be, because we've already got like FFB original and War of the Visions. So
Yeah,
yeah, I guess they could unleash something new.
maybe FFBE 2. Mm-hmm.
Mm, maybe,
Yeah, because this
maybe
game's getting
not.
bloated.
Yeah, but I don't know.
All
We've
right,
still got the 10 and 30 year plan to get through.
that's true. But no. But Hirono's gone now. Hirono's gone now. So does that 10-year
So it,
plan still apply?
so it's a 50 year plan now.
Oh, fuck, get me out. We're all stuck.
You're here forever.